Okay, what's up? What's up? My name is Sammy. I've been dropshipping on eBay for the last 7 years, and I'm gonna be explaining to you how to snipe people on eBay, find their winning products, and go ahead and list them on your account, and pretty much guarantee that you're gonna get a sale. Right, so I'm gonna explain the way to do it manually. I'm gonna be using some software to go ahead and automate the process. But if you guys want to do it manually, I'm gonna leave the link to this document in the description, and let's begin. So, what is sniping, right? Sniping is we're gonna go ahead on eBay, find items that are frequently selling on the platform, right? We're gonna go ahead and copy the title, the picture, and we're gonna get the lowest price of all of the competitors. So why does this work, right? This is the main question that we have to ask ourselves. Why does lowering the price work, right? If you know that you're selling, let's say, this wallet or something, right? On eBay, and it's selling for $39.99 and it's sold 100 times, right? If we go ahead and copy the same exact picture, right? We copy the same price and then we copy the same title. That means that the traffic that's already going to that listing is also going to be shared with you, right? The next person that's thinking about buying it is also going to see your item because you did an exact duplicate of that listing. And now that you did an exact duplicate, those two items are going to be shown to the customer. And because you have a lower price, if I go ahead and shop and I see two items that are identical, I'm going to for sure buy the lowest price. Right? I don't care about there's nothing else that matters at that point because we're selling on eBay, we're buying from eBay, we're not really buying from the sellers, right? Those things matter more when the items has some, product differentiation, but if there is no product differentiation, price is king. Okay. So how do you do this manual method of sniping, right? So if we want to snipe and find items that are selling frequently on eBay, right? As dropshippers, we want to first identify other dropshippers on eBay. So the way that we're gonna identify dropshippers on eBay is we're simply gonna go on Amazon and then we're gonna search some of the best-selling items, and we're gonna search it on eBay. And when we search those best-selling items, because Amazon to eBay dropshipping is such a popular method, there's gonna be so many people that are, selling those items. And then we can go ahead and save those sellers. And then once we save them, we can go ahead and scan them to look for their best-selling items. So you want to aim to have 100 to 1,000 sellers. If you don't look for specifically dropshippers, then you're going to look through their account and find items that are selling, but you don't know where they're getting it from. So you want to look for specifically dropshippers that are dropshipping from Amazon onto eBay. Okay, very good. So again, I'm not gonna go through execution step. This is the document for the manual method. For those that want to see how to do it manually step by step, just I'm gonna put the link to the description for this document. So the next thing that we're gonna do is after we've made our list of 100 to 1,000 drop shippers, we're gonna go ahead and scan them to find items that sold a minimum of 3 times in the last 3 days. Right? Why is this important? Right? The reason why this is important is because if an item sold 3 times by three unique buyers, right? Let's say I sold this wallet, right? The last 3 days, three people bought it, right? Three different people, right? Maybe somebody from New Jersey, New York, California. Then we know that this is an in demand item. But if it was, one person bought three of them or 10 of them, that doesn't really mean anything to us because it doesn't show the demand. Maybe that one guy was just an eccentric guy and he just loves wallets or something. So we want to look for demand across multiple people. So not how many times the item sold, but how many unique buyers bought it in the last 3 days. And if we see that three unique buyers bought it in the last 3 days, then we know that this is a winning product, right? It's a good product to list. And because we're already scanning, only looking for items from dropshippers, we know that these items are available from Amazon already. So we don't have to validate if this item is on Amazon because it is. You did the work in step one. Good. So now that you check the purchase history, right, we're gonna do this all together in an example after this, right? The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna have to go ahead and identify your main competitor. What does this mean? Who is your main competitor? Right? Let's say I went ahead and found an item that sold 3 times by three unique buyers in the last 3 days. Then what ends up happening is if I go on eBay and I don't find who is selling it at the cheapest price right now, this very second, then I might be listing it at an outdated price because people are always competing on a daily basis and an hourly level. You want to make sure the moment that you list your item, you have the most, like the lowest price of possible for that item. Alrighty. So now that you identified the lowest price, right? The way you do that is you just search the title of the item. We're gonna do this all together in an example onto eBay, right? The next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna start listing. You're gonna list the item onto eBay. Right, you're gonna go on the item, right? Click sell now. We're gonna be using our software to do it. The manual process is written over here, but essentially you're just gonna go ahead and list the same item, the same title, the same picture, the same item specific, the same everything, and just undercut the price by 5 cents, right? To make sure that you are the lowest, right, priced item on the market for that specific listing. If the listing has a different title, then it's a different item altogether. So understand it like that. Different titles make it a different item, right? We're competing, right, for that exact same titles, exact same picture, exact same item description, right? So that way, because we know that has already proven to work, we don't want to change anything. Doesn't matter how crap the title is. Even if you think you can make it better, who cares? Because it's working. You don't need to think too much when something's working, right? Alrighty. So let's go ahead and start with building our sellers list. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to Amazon, right? Find the best seller, right? And then you're going to go ahead and pick one of these items and search the title onto eBay, right? So let's say this item over here, right? This protein shake, whatever. I don't care about this item. What I'm doing is I just want to search this title on eBay so I can find a dropshipper who's selling this exact picture with a higher price. So I'm going to search it. I'm going to click our automation button. It goes ahead and searches the title automatically. And then we can see that this exact product, right? This person, this person, this person, they're all selling it. And because they're using the same pictures and there's a higher price, we can confidently say that these are drop shippers. So this is their username. If you don't have their username enabled, you have to press customize. And then from the customize, make sure seller information and item number are shown. Okay, very good. So now that's there, right? You want to go ahead and copy their username. The way that I'm gonna do it is I'm simply gonna press save, right? It goes ahead and saves this floppy disk. I go ahead and press save. It's gonna save these sellers, right? You can go if you go to open competitor research, right? It's gonna show that we have saved these sellers information. So now you want to go ahead and build a list of 200 people, right? One by one. So I'm gonna pause it and I'll be right back. All right, so we're back. So now that we went ahead and clicked save and we got 232 competitors, get 1,000, get 100, get whatever you want, right? You're gonna go ahead and start opening up, start scanning their account. Before we do it at large, let's go ahead and look at an example one by one. So let's say we open up this guy's account, right? You're gonna go ahead and if you're doing it manually, you just want to click this, right? Click seller's other items at the top, right? Fill up the captcha if there's a captcha. I'm gonna do this. All right, so once you press that, you should get to this page, or you can go ahead and copy this link. It's gonna be inside the document and replace his username over there. And then you're gonna be able to see all of his items that he sold. So now that we're able to see the items that he sold, if we go ahead and let's say this item, we want to do the research. I know for sure he's a drop shipper from Amazon. So if I look for this item on Amazon, I know it's there, right? If we go ahead and do a quick search, I didn't find it like that. If I right click this and I go, let's go ahead and search with the description on eBay. So this button goes ahead and gets the description from this listing on eBay, and then searches it on Google. And if it searches it on Google, we should be able to find this item because there we go. It's currently unavailable, so we're gonna skip this item, yeah. So that this button, it just does a Google image search. Okay. So anyways, let's close this. Let's look at the next one. That item was unavailable, but over here, this Trident White, right, $10.99. We're finding it on Amazon for $8.99. So now what I want to do is I want to see if 3 unique buyers bought it. So I'm gonna click our check purchase history button, check how many sold, and if I go ahead, our information tells us already it sold 3 times, right? It sold 7 times in the last in the last. There's 3 unique buyers in the last 7 days. 3 unique buyers in the last 3 days. 1 buyer in the last 1 day. In the last 14 days, there was 4 buyers. So this actually meets our criteria, right? It says our break-even price is 1852, but don't worry about that. Everybody has a different break-even price. We'll talk about that later. But you can see the purchase history. You know, this guy's a unique buyer. This guy's a unique buyer. This guy's a unique buyer. I don't know if this guy and this guy are the unique buyers, but generally speaking, they look like unique buyers, yeah? So we can see that 3 people bought it in the last 3 days. So let's go ahead and just copy his title and lower his price. But before we do that, what we want to do is we just want to make sure that we have the lowest price. So we can also check on the sold on eBay just to see if other people are selling it. You can see that this guy sold it for $12, right? This guy sold it for 11. This is a pretty hot product. If I go ahead and press search, right, we can see that other people are selling it pretty well. You know what I mean? These guys are selling it. It's a pretty in-demand item. Anyways, so we already confirmed that this item sells, so we don't need to do this kind of research, right? Now all we just want to do is we want to make sure that we have the lowest price. $10.99 might not be the right price to sell it at. So we're gonna go ahead and click search eBay for this item. So you're just searching the title on eBay, and I'm gonna sort by the lowest price. Right, the lowest price is $10.99. Wow. Okay, so that means that if we sell for $10.95, we should get the sale. So let's go ahead and just copy this title, copy this price, right? And let's search it for on Amazon, right? Open up the item, right? And we're just gonna go ahead and list it for sale. There's a 15% coupon too, so we'll be profitable. So let's go ahead and press import. It's gonna import the item number, right? It's gonna import the title of our competitor, right? It's a pack of 9, 16 count. So we're gonna use his title because his title worked. And then we're gonna click snipe list, right? Snipe list is gonna go ahead and snipe his account, and then it's gonna go ahead and list the item for sale. So let's let this finish, and I'll be right back. Okay, so just so very important, when we're pressing snipe list, the AI is filling up the item specifics. But right over here, if you don't want the AI to fill up the item specifics, then just turn these off because it does make it slower. Right, so turn off these item specific features. All right, so that's that. It goes ahead and uses the AI description to go ahead and give a brand new description. Just to make it a little more optimized, and it goes ahead and brings the price to $10.94. All right, and then it's gonna go ahead and list the item for sale onto eBay. All right, so let's let that happen. All right, so it's gonna go ahead. You can see if you hover over, it says ready to submit, and then this item has been listed onto the account. So now we have successfully sniped this item. So let's go ahead and search it on eBay. But maybe let's see if our item has showed up yet. It didn't show up yet, but it's gonna let's give it a couple minutes that we're gonna see that we are actually gonna be at the top of search because we went ahead and lowered the price. So that's how you snipe an item. Okay, so now the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna be talking about how do we get this information. It's very tedious to go ahead and scan the entire person's account entirely, right? So the thing is, you only want to be looking at items that sold recently, right? It said sold over here on September 4th, 2024. Today is September 5th, right? So this is you want to check the purchase history for this item. You want to check the purchase history of September 4th, right? Because these are within the 3 days. If it's sold like 10 days ago, it's not really relevant information for us. For example, if we go down here and it says the item sold on August 18th, there's no way that it's going to be that we're going to find information that sold in the last 3 days because eBay is already telling us that this item sold on August 16, August 15. And if we check the purchase history, we can see, right? It says it sold on August 16, 14, 14, 14. So that means we don't need to check these items, right? These items are going to show 0 sold, right? Unique buyers in the last 3 days. So let's forget about these ones. We only want to check the items that sold in the last 3 days. So how do you do that? So if you want to get the purchase history, right, you have to enable this feature. If you click off, right, and you click extract, what's going to end up happening is we're going to get the information from this listing, right? But it's not going to show the purchase history, right? It's going to say total sold is unavailable because we didn't choose to get the purchase history. So to get the purchase history, we have to go ahead. By the way, let's clear this information. We don't need it anymore. So let's go ahead and we have to turn on the purchase history scanner, right? And we have to only scan items that sold in the last 3 days, right? So only scan items that sold within 3 days, because anything beyond that is useless information. Scanning speed means 5. It just means how many tabs are going to be opened up at the same time. So I'm going to clear the titles because we don't need that information, right? I'm going to go ahead and press scan, and it's going to go ahead and open up the purchase history of items that sold in the last 3 days and skip anything that didn't sell in the last 3 days. Like, these are all the items it's looking for. Anything that didn't sell in the last 3 days, it's going to say total sold on not available. Why? Because we don't care about these items. They're not relevant for us. Like, it's not gonna, like, it's better you just go ahead and scan other people, instead of wasting your time finding these guys. Maybe somebody else sold it 3 times, right? Maybe the cumulative of 3 people sold it 3 times, but to do that is a very difficult thing and time consuming. We want to optimize for our time. All right, so now that we have scanned them, right, we can just go to filter titles, and then we want to go ahead and set our minimum sold quantity to 3 times in the last 3 days, because that's the most important, and we want to press apply filters. Now that we did it, we find 1, 2, 3, 4 items that sold 3 times in the last 3 days, right? From just scanning one person, right? So now that we scan this one person, like, now we can just go ahead and like start using the feature over here to start listing the items, right? So the first thing that I want to do is I'm gonna search on Google for the description, because it just makes it easy. Like, it just searches the description on eBay, and then, sorry, on Amazon, on Google, sorry, and then it's gonna go ahead and show us. So this guy sold it for $3.96, and on Amazon is showing us for $4.03. So there's no money to be made here because our break even is 283. My break even is 283 because I'm an international, right? This is like the extreme case. Everyone's gonna have different break even prices, so you do your math for that, right? I'll add a feature in the future for that. So this one, let's go ahead and check and just search the Amazon title, right? $6.99. Our break even is 714. So let's go ahead and list this item for sale, right? It sold 3 times in the last 30 days. Let's go ahead and check our active competitors, and we're gonna look for the lowest price, right? It says 945, right? So let's go ahead and wow, it's great. 945, but his price says 929. I wonder if his item is out of stock. It looks like it's out of stock. That's why we couldn't find them on eBay. So I'm just gonna copy his price because his price is the lowest. These competitors are selling it for 945, but that's okay. I just want to go ahead and get the sale. So if I press copy his information, right? If this button says snipe the title and price and saves it to the clipboard, it's gonna get his item ID and his title, and it's gonna import it onto Amazon with his item number, price, and title. And then we're gonna click snipe list, and it's gonna go ahead and list the item to his account. All right. So now that we did that, right? Let's go. This is how you do one person. But if you want to go ahead and scan all, 232 people at the same time, right? We're gonna have to do it with the bulk feature. So I'll show you how to do that. All right. So if we're gonna go ahead and do it on bulk, first things first, let's go ahead and clear this information. We don't need it anymore. So let's go ahead and close these tabs. I'll let this item list because why not? I'll just let it list. That's fine for me. And I'm gonna go ahead and close these tabs just so we have some working environment to work with. All right, so we went ahead and cleared it. So now again, right, we're the same features here. If you don't press on, it's not gonna get the purchase history. If you don't put the last 3 days, it's not. Don't do 30 days. It's just gonna take so much time because it opens up tabs one by one. Scan the last 3 days. That's the most powerful and that's the most useful, right? So what we're gonna do is press the run button, and it's gonna start searching the users one by one, and it's gonna go and loop through this list until all 232 people have been scanned. Right? It's gonna go ahead and open up their purchase histories one by one. right? Don't touch it. Keep your hands up, and you're gonna be fine. The list is gonna finish scanning, and then we'll take it from there. But one very important note: make sure that you only have the eBay Sniper extension loaded. Don't take anything else. Don't put anything else on there, because if you have many things here, then it's gonna go ahead and mess with the tool. Okay, so I'm gonna let this scan. I'll be right back when it's done. All right, so now that we did finish scanning all 232 people, maybe it took a couple hours, right? Sometimes it's very lengthy, right? We're getting a lot of research done. We're gonna click show all items, and we're gonna see that there's 30,000 items loaded. So now we're gonna search for items that sold 3 times in the last 3 days, and I'm gonna press apply. And then now that I pressed apply, we have 84 results. Maybe I want to get also an additional filter. I want 10 items that sold in the last 30 days, but minimum 3 times last 3 days. I'm going to press apply. And then it's going to show 39 results. Maybe I want the minimum price to be 20 bucks. And the reason why is because I want to get more expensive items. Now we have 7 results. So these items are more expensive items, but it still meets our criteria over here. So now that we see this item sold 6 times in the last 30 days, 7 times in the last 9 times in the last 7 days, and these are all unique buyers. It's not how many total sold. 9 unique people bought it in the last 7 days. 3 unique people bought it in this last 6 days. So I'm gonna go ahead and search this on Amazon. Right? Let's see if I find it. Yeah, I'm just gonna search the description because man, it's tough. Like I don't wanna spend too much time like matching things or anything. Yeah. I want things to be easy for me. So the search description works pretty well. Okay, so this item, not exactly the same item, but it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Even if it's not the same exact item, as long as it's close enough, right, we can list it on sale. So this is DSM5 TR, DSM5 TR with index tab PB, right? Does it have an index tab? Yeah, exactly. Index tab. Diagnostic Statistic Manual of Mental Disorders. Okay, so I'm looking at the item. It looks like it's almost the same. So traditionally speaking, in the sniping method, you want to get the exact same item, right? But in the end of the day, it's the title that's sold, the price that's sold. So let's go ahead and see if we can find what the lowest price is for this item. So I'm gonna look for the lowest price. 25.76. Right? So let's go ahead and list it for 25.70. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and press import. Is this the same item? Is this the same item? They all look very close, man. So, but I'm having tough time to see if they're the same. But whatever, I'm just gonna put 24.99. You can just put it, all you have to do is make sure that your price is lower than the competition and has the same title. And I'm gonna press snipe. Alright, so let's move on to the next. If you can find the exact same item, find the same exact item, right? Time is more important than everything. You don't want to spend 10 hours to do like 10 minutes of work, right? So let's go ahead and this bug zapper sold 3 times, 7 times, right? Let's see if we can find it on Amazon. I'll search by the description. You can search by the title. You can search by the image. I like to search by the description. The description is kind of makes it very much easier sometimes. 21.79. Right, our break even is 23.94. Right, it's sold for $30. So let's go ahead and copy this and then put it inside this import. You can go ahead and list it right now, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually check the competitors to make sure I have the lowest price because I want the sale. So I'm looking for the same exact picture. So this is 29.78. So I want to list it for 29.70, right, or 29.69. That's fine. So let's go to the item, 29.69, right? And I'm going to press snipe and then boom, you're done. So you could go ahead and play around, list like thousands of items like this, right? I recommend a minimum of 3 times in the last 3 days if you want fast sales, and press apply. Minimum price, like take that out. Let's list everything. That's fine, right? You have 84 results after scanning 200 people. If I want to see if it sold 3 times in the last 14 days, that's still a very effective way of doing it, right? You find 548 results. Lower the price for all of these items, and you have a lot of data. You look for a minimum of 3 times last 30 days, right? It's 834. if you're looking for 3 times in the last 3 days, you're gonna have to scan a lot of people, right? Maybe 1,000 people, and just do it consistently daily to make sure you have the lowest price. So yeah, that's how you do the sniping method. I hope you learned something. Why it works? It's because we're already finding the items that are already in demand. We're using the same keywords and getting the same amount of visibility as our competitors. Because we have the lowest price, the sales come to us. Alrighty, that's it for me. If you have any questions, you guys can go ahead and message me in the Discord. And this video was sponsored by EcomSniper. If anybody wants to learn more about our tool, right, we do have a dropship course that for the first 90 days, for the first 30 days, you get the software free with 1 month of getting the course for only 97 bucks. Yeah, so this video is sponsored by EcomSniper, and if anybody wants this guide, I'm gonna put it inside the description so you guys can access it. Whatever I did it with some software, but it can be done manually, right? It's as long as you understand the concept. Software is used to automate the boring stuff, but you're more than welcome to do everything manually because the software is just automating these things. Yeah, alrighty.